Hello everyone, I would like to start this video off with a short bit directed at Bungie. Dear Bungie, I have taken the past few weeks off of videos. I spent this time coming up with video ideas I could make because it seemed as though you were somewhat learning from past mistakes, and if I was to continue with my overall negative tone I had through Beyond Light's release, it would just be beating a dead and irrelevant horse. As such, I was planning a video discussing why a large number of people within the Destiny community still preferred Destiny 1 Crucible over Destiny 2 Crucible. I was also looking into additional tips regarding Gambit, so I could make a part 2 to my How to Win Gambit video. That all changed though with the release of your latest This Week at Bungie, because you screwed up your Transmog system and you screwed it up bad. In my video discussing your Road to Witch Queen deep dive article, I voiced some concerns regarding how Transmog appears to be poised to be an extremely grindy experience designed to promote Eververse purchases. And Bungie, not only did you prove my concerns right, but you proved them right in among the worst possible ways. Your current Transmog system is excessively grindy, abhorrently expensive, and is honestly the equivalent of spitting in your customers' faces. Now, those claims are rather blunt and quite standoffish, so please stick with me through this video as I explain why I believe what I do. And hopefully by the end of all of this, you will agree Bungie is ripping off their consumers. But before I do that, I'm going to give a quick plug to my Discord. If you want to get more involved with the channel, please join the server which is linked in the description. But with that out of the way, let's get back to the video. Alright. Let's begin by focusing on my first claim, which is the system is excessively grindy. So, in order to transmog a single piece of armor, you must first defeat enemies in order to earn Synth Strand. Then, once you have earned 150 Synth Strand, you must buy a bounty to earn Synth Cord. Then, once this bounty is completed, you use the loom at the tower to convert Synth Cord into Synth Weave. Then, using Synth Weave, you are finally able to transmog one piece of armor. This process must be completed for each piece of armor that you wish to transmog. In case you are not keeping track, that includes 4 separate steps, with 2 of them appearing to be rather grindy, being the first killing enemies one and the bounty one. And in addition to this, players are only going to be able to earn 10 Synth Weave per class per season. You are also unable to transfer the Synth Weave between characters unless they are Eververse purchased Synth Weave, and also there is no limit on the amount of Synth Weave you can purchase through Eververse. So the whole 10 Synth Weave limit per season is only about the Synth Weave you can earn in-game, not for the ones you can purchase with real money. So, to put those numbers in perspective, there are several hundred pieces of armor for each class. For the sake of the video and because I don't want to count, we're going to round it off to around 400 pieces of armor per class. I know this is undercounting it slightly, but again, I don't want to count. And now let's say that out of those 400 pieces of armor, there's only 100 pieces of armor that are really desirable as a transmog piece of gear. I would say 100 out of 400 is a fair number because there's plenty of armor people will have no interest in ever transmogging, whether it be the leveling armor, whether it just be like blatantly ugly armor, or for whatever reason. But anyways, we're going to stick with that 100 pieces of armor number. So how long will it take to transmog those pieces of gear? Well, at the bare minimum, when you factor in the extra 10 pieces of Synth Weave you'll be able to earn this next season, it will be August of 2023 before someone has transmogged those pieces of gear. That is not taking into account any new gear added within that time, any breaks the player takes from the game, or any other unforeseen things which could delay the transmog process. Now listen, as a Destiny fan, I enjoy grind as much as the next guy, but multiple years is just too much, especially for something that is 100% only cosmetic, and considering the limit is 100% only there to increase silver sales. The limit on only 10 transmogs per season does nothing to the player. It does not improve the game in any way. It's 100% arbitrary and designed to increase silver purchases. And this brings me to my next point, being the cost of transmog is excessively expensive and greedy. Let's stick with the 100 pieces of gear we established earlier, and look at the price tag of transmogging all of those pieces of gear. At a cost of 1,000 silver per set of armor or per 5 pieces of armor, it would cost 20,000 silver. That is $170 worth of silver. And while I can't speak for everyone because everyone has different tastes and values, I by no means see how transmogging 100 pieces of gear is the same value as Destiny 2, Forsaken, and Shadowkeep combined. Bungie attempted to justify their pricing by comparing transmog pieces to universal armor sets, which are $15 each. But I would say those armor sets are just even more overpriced than transmog. Bungie is attempting to justify the price of transmog by essentially saying, hey, we know this is bad, but this is even worse. And I understand Bungie has to make money. They are, after all, a business and shouldn't be forced to make their content for free. But that does not mean that they should nickel and dime their customers either. Right now, from an active Destiny player, Bungie receives $35 to $50 a year from fall expansions, and an additional $30 a year from the following seasons. In addition to this, they earn money from silver sales in regards to both Eververse items and season pass tiers. Based off this monetization model, Destiny 2 was one of the top 12 revenue earners on Steam in 2020, and that is not including the Xbox or PlayStation or even Stadia revenue. That does not strike me as a kind of company that needs an additional revenue source from players who just want to make their Guardian look nice. And again, if they were charging money for a meaningful edition, which adds meaningful content to the game, I can understand that. I can understand charging money for map packs or for new weapons, that sort of thing I can understand. But this is 100% something that should just be a free system that players can use to customize their Guardian. And this is again why I consider this system excessively expensive and greedy. In my opinion, transmogging armor should not be really any different from shaders. They should be a small fee of Glimmer or Bright Dust, and then you should just be able to use them as you please. There should not be excessive grinds associated with them, and there should not be excessive price tags associated with them. And that finally brings me to my point of how this is essentially Bungie spitting in their consumers' face. Bungie left Activision almost 2 years ago following the release of Forsaken. We as a Destiny community were told this would be a good thing and that it would give Bungie total creative freedom. With that creative freedom, Bungie has given us less content than ever, implemented terrible systems like content vaulting and sunsetting, has not improved their content in any noticeable way, and really the only thing Bungie seems to be capable of using their creative freedom for is finding creative new ways to squeeze money from their customers. Just look at how Transmog was implemented. In the TWAB, Bungie themselves say this has been a requested feature since the launch of Destiny 1. And now that it is finally here, Bungie has developed it as a way to get their consumers to cough up even more money. Ever since the Bungie-Activision split, Destiny has gotten more expensive but smaller in terms of content. Destiny costs more than it ever has, and it offers less content than ever before. This latest decision by Bungie with the Transmog system is them just spitting in the face of their consumers for believing Bungie was going to magically get rid of all of the problems with early Destiny, and that all of Destiny's problems were because of Activision. Well, it's been 2 years now, and I think we can safely say it was not Activision's fault for Destiny's problems. So, that is all I have to say, and if you have something to add, please comment it below, and if you liked what you heard, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and until next time, goodbye.